Can you believe that I have left this bag sitting untouched next to me for a week? This is all the things I brought home from the San Francisco Pen Show in 2022, and I'm going to show you what I bought and tell you all about it in this video. In short, I bought 3 pens, I bought 1 replacement unit, I bought 2 bottles of inks, I bought 1 roll of washi tape, I bought a Rickshaw Nock Sinclair that was released last Friday, and then I also purchased a traveler's notebook. Let's talk about this first. I purchased this Sinclair pen pouch it's a collaboration between Rickshaw and the Nock brand. The label is inside somewhere at the pen show, and I really love the very subtle untelling outside. It is khaki, brownish green, more brown than green, and the absolutely bright pink on the inside. It is supposed to be a pen case. Let's just take everything out and I'll walk you through it. It has, as you can see, so it has this Cordura fabric in really bright pink, and then this fuzzy lining here in a little bit subtler pink, but it's still super bold. There's a pocket right here. I keep this stencil and my weekly supplement from Hobonichi in here. Then it has 3 pen slots. I keep what is this called? A mechanical pencil, my Hobonichi pen, as well as 2 mild liners in there. And then it also has 1 outer pocket right here. I just tried this to see if it would fit my Hobonichi A6 half year, and it fits right in between these 2 pockets. I totally love it, and so I'm just going to keep it like that for now. I don't know if this is going to last forever, but for now, this is a really good place for my planner and my pens to have it all together. Perfect. Love it. I didn't know if I wanted one or not. I have been looking at the Rickshaw items before, but never really pulled the trigger. But this time I thought, I want this. So I also got these 2 buttons. This one was $1. This one was just a free gift. I did not really do the circuit. I just went to 1 pen show, and then this is the official San Francisco Pen Show button. So I got these 3 as well. I purchased the Vinta inks, Purple Sea Star, Tabuan from Enigma Blanks. It's supposed to be the special show color, and I put my pen ink swatches somewhere, but I can't find them. Wow. There's too much stuff laying around here. Right here. All right. So this one is it. It's you can't really see it on here, maybe here a little bit. It's a chromo shading ink, not too crazy or anything. It's also, it has some pink undertones, blues, purple, basically. I like it. I purchased it. It came in a set with a beautiful fountain pen that was ground to a reverse architect nib. Never tried these nibs. It was so cool to experience all of those things as well. But ultimately, I did not go for the whole pen, but I but I did go for the ink. But it was absolutely stunning, for sure. The other ink that I purchased was Diamine Writer's Blood. This was a purchase that I knew I wanted to make. I have heard from a lot of people that Writer's Blood is a very wet ink. And so I wanted to try it with some of the fountain pens that I have not had the best experience with just yet, and see if the inks that I had in those pens was the problem. And also it's actually a really beautiful color too. I am definitely drawn to these burgundy, mauve is not really the right word, burgundy, red wine, deep red wine colors. Definitely drawn to those, and I like it. So it's a win-win for me. I purchased a wet ink that I can use with those pens to see if what happens when I use an ink that is known to be wet, and see if it helps. I also, when I made a purchase at Flax Pen to Paper. I have never heard from them before, and I'm really glad I found them at the San Francisco Pen Show. I think this was not the last time that I purchased from them. They were super nice, very helpful, answered all the questions, had a super nice setup at their booth, stand, table, whatever you call it. And they gave away this Monteverde Horizon Blue. They also said that it was voted the best all-around fountain pen ink. I don't know. Something. It was best in something. And so they gave these away to people. And so I got one of those. It's a very, I'd say it's a phthalo blue, actually very pretty and usable, I think. I'm gonna definitely put that in a pen for sure. So that was the inks. I did, my stance on bottles versus samples. So I definitely did not go ink crazy there. I could have, but I did decide not to go for that. One tiny purchase I also made was this washi tape. I purchased it from InkyFingers. Let me check. My friend Mar gave me InkyConverters is their name. Gave me a pin from them. I bought this washi tape, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. It's all stationery themed. There's fountain pen ink, kitty on a journal probably, pencil, pen pal letter, washi tape, wax seals, stickers, and then it starts all over again. I really like how it looks. It's cats. I love cats, so this was a total no-brainer for me. I actually stayed away from it, from all the things that I knew that I had enough. But then a friend bought this, and I was like, okay, which table do I have to go to? And then I went and got that as well. Okay, let's start with the first pen that I purchased, because that is how this whole show went. I went to the pen show to test the Pilot Custom 823 and see if I would like it enough to spend the money to buy it. I had the budget for it, and that was the plan. The plan did not go as intended. I came home with a lot of different things that are not the Custom 823. Just taking it away first, I did not buy that. I was at the Franklin-Christoph table before they opened their whole lineup, because I wanted them to take a look at my Model 45. I have a video on this channel, and you probably see there that I was, oops, my whole journaling bag just fell. I have a video on there where I talk about this pen here, and it did not write as I had hoped it would. So I knew I wanted to go to their table to have their nib master, Audrey, take a look at this and maybe exchange it. I had been in contact with them before, and they said if I could wait that long, I could just come by and they could take a look. And if I wasn't happy, they would be able to exchange that nib for a different one. So that's why I was there. And then I bought a pen that I would have never thought I would buy. It comes in this super nice zipper pouch. Ta-da! This pen. I have seen this pen on their site. I have seen this pen being used by people in the fountain pen community that I watch videos, and I have thought, what a weird shape. This is not, I don't like this. Who would ever buy a pen that looks like this? Well, I do. The first thing that drew me in was definitely the color. I am a sucker for these magenta pinks. And then this, what is it? Frosted look? Perfect. But so I took it to look at it just to see what it looks like because I liked the design. And then I opened it up and I took it in my hand and I was like, this feels nice. It tapers down here and it sits perfectly in my hand right here in this crease. And now look at this. You can actually post this super deep. It's still very usable. It's not going to be this humongous pen, and it still sits nicely in my hand. What do I want more in a pen? Nothing. So I decided, screw the 823. If I decide that I really want it, then I will be over budget, but it's okay. I want this pen, so I got it. I actually went with just a regular medium steel nib because I was very hesitant because of this grind, and I feel like I'm not there yet to experience all of those specialty nib grinds fully. I need to explore bigger nibs, different nib sizes, maybe even dip my toe into broad, another stub nib maybe from a different brand. Things like that. I feel like that's where I'm going right now. So this is a number 6 nib, and compared to this nib, which is a number 5 nib, it looks humongous. Don't you think? I want to ink this up when I'm done showing you what I purchased. So let's hope this video is not going to be super long. So I also knew that Pilot was going to be there with all of their fountain pens to try. I had 3 items on my list: the Pilot E95S, the Vanishing Point with a gold nib, and the Pilot 823. I tried the 823 in the medium, and I felt it was very not as soft and smooth as I had expected. I tried the broad. I also tried someone I met there had purchased a broad at the show, and I was able to try it on Sunday when I went to the Bay Area Planners meetup, and maybe that's what I'm going to get if I'm going to get the 823. But yeah, so I was perplexed that I didn't completely fall for it the moment I touched and wrote with it. So that was the first drawback. And then I tried other pens. I also liked the Custom 912. that was a very interesting pen. It has like a huge range of nibs that you can put on that specific pen. It's super boring, black. But yeah, so I tried the E95S and I bought an E95S in medium because I really liked the writing experience with that more than with the A23, especially considering the different price points. I felt like I should really, really love the A23 if I wanted to get it. Now, Pilot dips their pens into ink instead of inking them up for to test the pens. I know that makes a difference in the writing experience, so maybe I'm going to get that some other time. Maybe I'm going to get it next year at the pen show. It's definitely moved down on the list of pens that I really want to get, even below a Lamy 2000. Where was I? Yes, so I then went to Flax Pen to Paper, and they had the Pilot in the burgundy color. You know, I love burgundy. Seems like it. My custom 74 is also a burgundy color. So this is exactly the same burgundy. And you also know that I'm really drawn to pocket pens. So this was the perfect next pen that I should get, in my opinion. So this is what it looks posted. You would post this pen. It looks very elegant, and I don't feel like that's me, but I'm still super drawn to this pen because I just like how tiny it is and how it gets bigger. And yeah, don't know. And especially, I really love the nib that is inlaid here. Can't really see the feed. And I loved the writing experience. I tested all of these pens, so I cleaned them on Monday and waited patiently to be able to fill them up and show you. And then, of course, what else could I have gotten but the TWSBI Eco in the, what is that? In the glow in the dark. We are a full gang of people who bought that at the pen show, and it was so cool. I can't wait to try this, actually. Super cool. I got it in a broad nib. I have decided that I am going to get one more TWSBI Eco. So I'm going to fill it up all the way. So I have an extra fine, a fine, a medium, multiple mediums, a broad, and then I want a 1.1 stub nib. I had a 1.1 stub nib before, but I swapped it with a friend because I just couldn't really get the hang of that pen. But now that I'm super nerdy and want to try different things, different inks, I think it would be really cool to have one set from one specific brand. This way I can also compare inks in stub nibs with the Lamy stub nib that I have. I have a 1.5 and a 1.1 from them. So just to see how these inks perform in the different pens and how the pens work with inks, it's just really nice to be able to compare those things. And the TWSBI isn't that expensive that I would always break the bank for that. I can budget that in anytime. So whenever I will have another, so there is still some water in here. Whenever I will have another release that really catches my eye, I will go for the 1.5. 1.1 stub nib. Ooh. Oh, it's because of the, did you just see what happened? TWSBI caps are super airtight. That's the reason why most of the time your inks will not, your nibs will not dry out, because there is just such a good seal in in the cap right here. It's probably because this is an O-ring, so you screw it on. There's also this cap inside. It's a piston filler. The other two are cartridge converters. This one has a small Con 40. Wow, I need to be mindful of that. One of those. And then the Franklin-Christoph has a standard international converter. I can show you that as well. It is branded for Franklin-Christoph. What's special about this pen, if you have never seen a Franklin-Christoph pen, their caps screw on right here. Usually, like with the TWSBI, the screws are this section here is right here behind the grip section. So if you grip your pen further in the back, you might experience some obstruction there. The screws here are in the front, I think, but that's the caveat. I think these caps do not seal as well as these, for sure. So this is one of those pens that I would like to try the writer's blood in, because it feels so dry all the time, and I'm not sure if I always took the wrong ink or what the problem is with all of this. So the last thing that I purchased was I tested the Vanishing Point gold medium nib. And so I stopped at Dromgools and got a replacement nib unit for my yellow Vanishing Point. When I purchased this pen, I did not know that there is a steel alloy nib, and I have heard multiple. I did some research and I found out that these often write very dry as well. I haven't really, it's just not as smooth as this one. This is an 18K nib. And when I tested this at the pen show, I was like, maybe I should invest. Instead of always being unhappy with this nib, maybe I should just invest in the 70 bucks. This makes this pen quite expensive now. I thought I got a deal. I did not, because I had to buy the gold nib unit. So make sure when you buy pens that you online that you definitely read the product description very closely. And so I want to ink that up and see how that writes as well. But I thought I'd rather make a pen usable that I already own than get another pen that I'm not 100% behind. I'd rather know that I really love this. And even if I then find out that I don't really like the way I grip this, I can sell this as a full unit with the gold nib instead of with the alloy, the steel nib. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to pause here and ink all of those pens up and come back and show you writing samples. Okay, let me just grab this notebook and I'll show you. So this pen I inked up with Manual Akebi. So this is the Franklin-Christoph Model 2, I think. It's an M steel nib, and number 6. Compared to I think this is the first, no, I think the TWSBI VAC 700R Iris also has a 7 number 6 nib, and this is Sailor Manu Yo Akibi. Love the ink. I wanted to pair that ink with this pen. Just think it deserves it deserves it. It's a wet writer. It's super smooth. Love how it writes. Then the Pilot E95S I inked up with the Show ink. So this is the E95S. It's my second gold nib. So it's M, same as the other one, 14K. And the ink is Vinta Purple Sea Star. Writes really nicely. Let me do that same stuff with the Franklin-Christoph here too. It's louder for sure. Very smooth as well. All right. Then I inked the broad TWSBI. If you watched me, I really have a hard time filling these Con40 converters or filling pens with these. So I might go back and fill the converters with syringes later on. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. This is the TWSBI Glow in the Dark. Glow in the Dark. Glitched. It's a broad nib, and the ink is the last of the Robert Oster Cozy Comfort inks that I have not used yet. Is the Coffee Date. It writes really nicely. I want to see how this ink shades in that. That's why I chose that ink with a broader nib. And then this last one, I had to go upstairs and grab the ink bottles because I totally forgot that I wanted to ink them. I decided to put this is the Pilot. Oh my gosh, it's so different. Vanishing. Point. Medium, 18K, and the ink is that I have in here is Linen, Tool, Bar, Oyster. I don't know. I can't even tell you what it makes it feel so different, but it just feels different. And then let's do so I would let me put yes, it's a tiny bit broader, but this M nib is definitely more on the broader side for sure. So there is a slight difference, but not as noticeable as I thought it was going to be, which is okay. I don't need like fat highlighter strokes. This is perfect. So these are the pens. I just wanted to show you how this writes now. Obviously I don't have a comparison, but let me see if it actually writes. So I haven't written with this since Saturday. No, Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is today. And it flows. So Audrey smoothed it out a bit more. And then what I think is doing the trick here is she changed out the feet, because the ink flow is so different. Even with this ink, which is, I think, very dry. It's a shimmer ink, which I didn't realize at the time that I put it in here. Is this dominant? Industry Autumn Forest. So here is, let's do downstrokes, side strokes. This is a SIG medium nib. Now I can definitely say that I want to keep this and that I want to use this. It's really lovely. And then yeah, so for sure, I'm really happy with everything that I purchased. I do not have any buyer's remorse. And then I also went ahead, the last thing that I want to show you is this. I went ahead and purchased the Traveler's Special Edition Hotel version. That is the notebook that I have been eyeing since they announced that they would be releasing those. I did not purchase them in the first run. I did not purchase them in the second run, but when I was there and saw them in real life, I really wanted to get it. Sold another notebook so that I would be able to purchase this. As you can see, it was $112. I think that's how they were sold everywhere. I think I'm just going to open this up now, and then I will set it up and start to use it right away. But I think I'm not going to do that on camera because it's going to take a long time for sure. Do we want to look at it? Have you watched tons of videos of this? Are you sick of these? I could imagine. I'm not going to unbox any of the other items in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up just to take a look at it because I'm so curious what it looks like. Oh my gosh, this red burgundy brown. I mean, you know, it's no wonder I really love those inks because I also love the leathers. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm glad I went for it. Did you get one of those? Which one did you get? Yeah, let me grab the one that I need right now. Here, comparison. I really love the rose gold foiling as well. Look at the color comparisons here. This is so funny. So much lighter. I'll put it on the other side so because I have the light coming in from the left. Wow. I will be for sure moving from here to here. But wow. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll film another video moving over and unboxing this. Let me know if you want to watch this because I don't even know if we have all watched this to oblivion. Thank you so much for joining me. I really had a great experience at the San Francisco Pen Show. I know in my last journaling video, I talked about the social anxiety that I had, and I was able to voice what was wrong in that video, which I highly recommend you do that too. Maybe not voicing or verbalizing the problem on a video if that's not for you, but take a piece of paper, take your journal, write down and find out what is actually the problem so you can address those head on. I saw a meme. Maybe if I find it, I will add it here. I'll describe it to you. It was a person who sat in a colored fleck, and it says, "Do not sit in your problem." And then you saw the same person sitting on a chair and the colored splotch right next to that person on a chair as well. And it said, "Sit with the problem." And that's exactly what happened to me after I talked about it on the video. I knew what was the problem, and then I could take steps to be able to enjoy the pen show, and I absolutely did. None of my fears came true. Everyone was super nice. I was able to talk to a lot of people. I did not feel intimidated at all. It was an amazing experience, and I hope I can repeat that next time as well. If you were there, let me know how you experienced it. Did you buy anything? Let me know in the comments below. I'm super curious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. Until then, goodbye.